Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hey everyone,
Hi.
welcome to another episode of Hypecast. That's a show where we talk about like movie news and new trailers and stuff of the week. I'm your co-host Tom Ryman.
I'm your other one, David Bell.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Katie Goldin.
You are.
Welcome.
Thanks for
How's it going?
doing this.
I don't belong here.
We just gave you a list of trailers.
Yeah.
That
Just
we
now.
Just compiled.
Right.
Just now.
I
didn't even compile them. IGN did.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of them.
Okay, well, let's start at the ones that you watched. You
Yeah.
watched Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
That Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Look good?
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, right? The animation
Yeah.
is interesting.
I'm really into his dad in it. I just want a movie
Oh,
about
Miles'
his
dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just doing all that dad shit. Like, it's,
You know,
I don't know.
in Homecoming, Donald Glover plays his uncle.
Mm.
He
You're
plays
right.
he plays a character that winds up being a
Because
villain called the Prowler.
Everybody wanted Donald Glover to play him.
To play Miles
originally,
Morales,
but he's
yeah.
a little too old now.
Yeah.
He's old as shit.
Yeah.
Donald Glover's what, 31? He's
Old,
fucking
broken
ancient.
down
His career's
piece of
over.
garbage.
Yeah, garbage. Yeah, it looks neat.
Yeah.
I like that they threw Spider-Gwen in there.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's interesting that it's a theatrical release.
Yeah, I haven't really watched that many Spider-Man movies since the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
The Spider-Mans?
Yeah, Spider-Mans.
Lance Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's just his name.
Did you not see the new one?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's good.
It is.
It's my favorite one, I think.
I've heard that, and then I was gonna see it, but then it was on iTunes for the extremely high cost of $4.99, so I didn't watch it.
If you have a Starz subscription on Amazon, you can watch it for free.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, I don't.
Mhm.
So fuck you, Tom.
All right, get out.
There's no reason. I mean, there's
Leave.
no reason to have a Star subscription.
There really isn't. I had one to watch Ash vs. Evil
Me too,
Dead,
and
which
then
got
they canceled
the
it.
fuck canceled out
Yeah.
of it. So
So there's no
So-
point. That and yeah, Spider-Man, I guess.
Spider-Man. They have some Bond
Spider-Man.
movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, seems like a fun little
Yeah.
little romp.
Little jaunt.
Yeah.
A Spider-Man jaunt. It's a weird animation style that's
They drop
almost
a lot
stop motion.
Yeah, so like I actually can talk about animation because
Right,
I've
because
done
that's
it.
what you do.
Well, not anymore because it drives you slowly crazy. But like, yeah, they seem to. It's a 3D animated movie where they're dropping a lot of frames and they're using probably some kind of lighting filter so that it
looks like cell shaded.
yeah,
And like a little stop motion-y.
yes,
Yeah.
That's the frame droppage, right?
Yeah.
That gives it that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who is it?
it's Randall.
Okay.
So fucking.
God damn it, Randall. Randall, if you're listening, stop texting Katie.
Stop it. There's only so many pictures of his cute new dog that I can tolerate.
Oh my god, that dog.
That fucking dog.
He's so cute. Little,
Fucking
really
little
is.
Yoda.
Little
He's
asshole.
done like 10 names. He's like, no, I've decided on a new name. It's like, that dog is going to have psychological problems.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open my bottle of Michael Jackson Diet Pepsi.
Mm.
You can.
Great.
That was his ghost escaping.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the animation style looks good. I've seen that more and more where it's like kind of taking the traditional. I think I saw that in the Smash Man goes to the internet.
Wreck-It Ralph, which we're
Yes.
gonna that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Smooth segue,
I'm
KG.
so
I
good
did
at
want to
it.
say something about Spider-Man and Sony.
What's
I'm
that?
getting the feeling that
You ruined
they-
the segue.
yeah, I know. I'm
Fucking
dragging us
asshole.
back. I'm dragging us back. It seems like they don't know what to do with Spider-Man in a great way. Like in a way where like it feels like they had some sort of meeting with Marvel and Marvel was like, just fucking relax. And so now they're doing like this cartoon and the Venom and
Yeah.
then like the canon stuff. And they're just like, who gives a fuck? We're just going to make every version of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of liking it.
They're planning on doing that Silver and Black movie, which is Silver Sable and Black Cat.
Yeah. Well, they canceled that, didn't they?
They moved it off the schedule. I don't know if that means
Okay.
they're not going to do it, but
yeah, good for you, Sony.
yeah, just
Fuck it.
just listen to Marvel.
Yeah.
Just listen to Marvel. They know what they're doing.
Anyway, so how about that Wreck-It Ralph trailer?
Well, what I was saying, Dave, is that
I'm gonna wreck it. I've never seen Wreck-It Ralph.
Smash Man goes to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There's like that same sort of like stop motiony animation for some of the internet characters. I think the Google character gets some of that.
I didn't
treatment.
notice it.
Yeah. I mean,
So I think you're lying.
no.
I believe you.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I didn't see the first one, so
I didn't. I don't
it
remember.
seems like it seems like this movie is just all about branding,
Yes.
which is kind of what the last one seemed like. But this one seems even more egregious because it's like,
Yeah.
here's all the website. It's like what they wanted Emoji Movie to be. It's like
Yeah.
all the internet stuff, and it's like here's all the internet stuff, and also all the Disney brands. Like here's Marvel and
Right.
Star Wars and a Disney movie.
It's like an unholy copulation between the Emoji Movie and then what's that called? Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's disgusting spawn.
Did you see the first one?
I did. It was fine.
Yeah, I remember it being fine. And I remember a lot of people liking it more than I felt like it deserved. Another franchise that we have on the list, the Lego Movie. Like, I liked the Lego Movie a lot more.
Oh yeah, I mean it was
Because it felt like it had something to say.
yeah, I mean it only had one big branding thing, which is Lego.
Yeah,
and
which
then
is-
if you like look past that,
Well, and Batman.
Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman.
But, like, it worked, I guess. Because
Yeah.
it felt like... I guess the Wreck-It Ralph, at least this trailer, feels very disingenuous. Like, it feels like they're, like, trying to make fun of Disney princesses, but, like, the humor isn't... It's, like, kind of safe, and it's...
Yeah, people are losing their shit over these Disney princesses, like, because I guess they're all in the same room or something, but, I mean, it just seems like a soulless reaping of...
Did they get Vanessa Williams back to do Pocahontas? I couldn't tell if that was her or not.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But like, and also Tangled Rapunzel didn't sound like Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
No.
Also, she had blonde hair, which is bullshit. She cuts her hair and it turns brown.
No,
Fuck you guys.
In the sequel or something, they fucking... There's,
Um,
I've talked to Star about this.
There's a TV show
They
too.
figured out some way to
Oh.
get her hair back, and I don't think it's magical.
By
but-
growing it
Yeah,
naturally.
she grew it and dyed it. Yeah,
This thing called time.
she bought some fucking hair dye. No, but it's like that, and then also the Lego Movie, which you mentioned. That's another new trailer this week. It's the Lego Movie 2. There's jokes in both of those trailers where somebody tells the female protagonist, "Oh, you mean you do all the work, and there's a man with you, so the man gets all the credit."
Yeah,
Like-
fuck those men.
But they're still doing that,
yeah.
so you can't like. It feels really weird to have a movie call out the thing that it's doing and then
Yeah.
still do the thing. Just that I hate when movies think that the way to be self-aware is to call out the bad thing you're doing
Oh,
and then
yeah.
still do the thing.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a bunch. It was
Yeah.
the thing with fucking
Hawkeye,
Jurassic World
and then
or
Jurassic
Hawkeye.
World, yeah.
You know, they're like,
Yeah.
"Isn't this dumb?" And it's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Sort of like the I love you daddy of
Ugh.
I mean I that one's the most disgusting
Yeah.
example, but it's like, isn't it gross to sexualize girls? Anyways, here's
Anyway,
a girl
here's a
we
sexualized
sexualize.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't like that, and you know, it's just kind of like it's like commercialized feminism that
It is.
really
Mm.
you know, really grinds my gears because it's just like hey ladies, you like to have empowerment.
ladies.
Hey the women's, do you like to hate of the men's?
Hello, the females. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't see the Lego Movie either. So these are like two trailers that I have zero interest in, just because I haven't seen the original.
You should see
film.
the original Lego Movie.
Probably.
It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yes.
It's the reason Lord and Miller have a career.
Yeah, and it was shot really well, and it has a message that's
Uh-huh.
like positive for kids. that isn't just by Legos.
By Legos?
Yeah.
Although that's heavily in there.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
It's got a very anti-glue.
Yes, it hates glue.
It fucking
Why would you?
despises
What
glue.
what lunatic glues their Legos?
That is the question of the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I built that entire pirate ship. I didn't use glue because I'm
Yeah.
not a lunatic.
yeah. No, yeah, it sort of represents everything that Legos represent because it's like, I don't know, very pro creativity in this very, I don't know, positive, heartfelt way that just see the stupid movie. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll watch the goddamn
Yeah.
thing.
It's a
fun.
delightful romp through
Yeah.
the land of Legos.
What I'm what I'm wondering is the first Lego movie is like all about the fact that they're Legos, like that's their whole thing, and they had like a message to say.
And this one's about
This one
aliens.
just feels this one feels like, okay, well, we did that. Now we're just gonna sell
We've
Legos.
established we're Legos. Let's just
Yeah,
act as if
Let's-
that's normal.
Take all the cleverness and creativity out of the film.
who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll do something fucking amazing. Maybe
Right.
there'll be like some amazing message about Trump in there or something,
Right.
and we'll be like, oh my god.
Just halfway through the movie, it's a clear satire about the prison industrial complex and how it's like de facto
Inmates are
slavery.
slaves. Wow, I didn't expect the Lego movie to go there.
What other what do we got? Mortal Engines.
Mortal Engines. That's that new. It's Peter Jackson's producing it, which they're being sneaky about. Because they're like, it's the new Peter Jackson film.
Or they're like, yeah, or they're saying
Peter Jackson, we the workshop.
Jackson.
We the workshop.
And it's saying from the filmmakers of Lord of the Rings. What they mean is from the art director of Lord of the Rings.
Produced by Peter
Produced by
Jackson,
Peter Jackson.
and directed by one of his art directors.
Yeah.
Jackson. Does have some Hugo Weaving in it though, and I'm always on board for Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
He has the maddest history teacher in the middle grade face ever.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Like
He has resting substitute teacher face.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, he does, and I think that subtly contributes to the on-screen effect that he has because you're always just
1000%.
you're just kind of shitting your pants because you're like,
Mhm.
fuck, Mr. Jones,
Calm
The
down, man. Why are you
worst-
so mad?
Oh yeah,
worst
him and
substitute.
oh man, him in like Lord of the Rings, where he's trying to be like a somewhat good character.
Yeah,
He still
And-
looks like sinister as shit.
Yeah, like
you hobbits, stop that.
Because he can't not speak like
Yeah.
no,
Agent Smith.
yeah,
He can't not seem like he wants to crush you under his
You,
boot.
Frodo, want to take the One Ring to
You
Mount Doom.
Piece of shit.
They covered his face up in V for Vendetta, and he still manages to make it come through, like in his, like you
Yeah.
can hear
Yeah.
his angry face in his voice.
I'll say the one movie that he managed to kind of break out of that for me was
Babe,
was he in Babe?
he's the shepherd dog in Babe. He's
I
Babe.
guess-
He's
I
Babe's
guess
The
surrogate
shepherd
dad.
dog
I
is
guess
super
Babe.
angry.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He's nuts. He bites.
he hates
Babe.
Babe.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say Hacksaw Ridge because he's
drunk
still
Hugo Weaving.
drunk Hugo Weaving.
Drunk
He's
abusive Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, like he plays it sad. Like you're not scared he's gonna hurt you.
I thought
Well,
he-
you are, but you in a sad way.
I thought he was nice in the first Jurassic Park.
He's
The hell is he in the first Jurassic Park?
No, see, that was a joke because he looks a lot
Looks like a
that.
dinosaur.
No, he looks a lot like that other actor that I forgot his name.
Sam Neill,
Yes.
Dr. Grant.
Yeah.
does he?
Yeah. They both.
Yeah,
I think they're both from New Zealand.
they
right?
take such different paths. Yeah, they're all from New
They're
Zealand.
all
I-
fucking Kiwis.
Legitimately thought, I think Sam Neill did a Merlin show.
He did a Merlin made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually really like that. I saw that as a kid, so I can't recommend it now.
Jeff May's walking.
Jeff
in the
May,
Hypecast.
everyone. Jeff May's going to do a run-in on this Hypecast.
Should we
Yeah.
just let him?
We should just let Jeff do a
There's
run-in.
not
Let's get
enough
on that mic.
microphones.
We'd have to get in there.
Can we hit his music? Who's running the music?
Yeah. Should we just? I don't know. Should we just put a mic down?
No, you're fine. Just come in.
Slam down a mic. You got another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another one.
Get
We
it?
got more mics.
We got more mics. You kidding? You kidding me, bro?
You want to jump in this?
We're talking about Mortal Engines. The
Oh
new-
yeah, that's what we were talking.
It looks like City of Embers. Like it looks like it could be really bad.
Yeah, but it also could be really fun.
I like the moving city angle, which they did in John Carter of all movies.
John Carter.
Oh yeah, not Andrew Stanton though. He's still making Pixar films.
Oh, I saw that movie on a really awkward first date.
That's a terrible date.
Oh boy, it was bad.
I took a girlfriend on a final date, our last date, to Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh,
Testing.
Good.
That was a we haven't seen that woman in 17 years.
Hi, Jeff.
Sound. Hi.
He's doing
I'm gonna gently
I'm-
rub some
I'm
balloons.
Katie. We haven't
Katie,
met.
I'm Jeff. I feel like we may have.
I think I saw your stand-up.
This is
Oh,
history
yes.
in the making right now.
I performed stand-up in the Cracked offices.
Yeah.
You did.
Do that. That was a really weird event.
I did my suicide set
Yeah,
at
damn.
It
the
was
office.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a good set.
What I remember about that more than anything is how into my Star Wars material Cody was.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was like, "Yes," and I'm like, "What? All right, yeah, let's
Really
go with
spoke
this."
to Cody.
Like,
He was like reverse heckling you.
yeah, that is probably the worst. A reverse heckle is the worst in the real world. At a club or whatever, when somebody reverse heckles you on stage, it's way worse than getting a regular heckle.
Because they're trying to like add to it.
They love you.
Yeah.
And that's you have to tell someone who just admitted that they love you. You have to ruin their night.
You gotta be like,
Tell them to
this-
take it down a notch.
Yeah, it's not a conversation, man. Please.
We're not friends.
Yeah. I know you're sitting 2 feet away from me, but
I had a guy boo me because I was from New England.
Boo.
And he's just like, Giants. I'm like, what position do you play? And he was like, what? And I was like, then shut the fuck up. Because they're strangers. These are strangers that play a children's game near where I was born.
Tom, are you eating a taco during the podcast
I'm
recording?
eating a taco salad.
It's a taco bowl salad.
Anyways, so we're talking about the Mortal Engines. Or Mortal Engines.
I only saw a little bit of that trailer, but it looked like it was just like Sky Times.
Sky Times?
Sky,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Is that
hey
a film?
Guys, we're in the sky now.
Yeah, it's either going to be incredible or I think it's going to be amazingly bad. Because, again, Peter Jackson isn't actually directing it, and they don't want people to know that, and people are going to be kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
And it's a new director. Like, he's directed a couple shorts and this. And that I don't think that's how you should direct.
You shouldn't go right into what
to
looks
like a $200 million
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I like everything going on with the... oh, God, who's the villain? Oh, it's Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, yeah.
Just out of nowhere, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Does he have, like, bills?
He's got a beard in this one.
He does.
Yeah, he's got like a very Seneca Crane kind of look to him from the Hunger Games. That's the... I mean, anytime something's dystopian, it's usually a huge gamble because they're expensive. Like, usually dystopian...
None of them are
Yeah.
hitting. The only one that's hit is Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maze
yeah,
Runner, Mortal
But
Instruments,
even Hunger Games didn't...
Divergent.
It was a dystopia, but it wasn't like high concept, different alternate world sort of thing. So it was like sort of normal world, just like, but
it's
battle
like,
royale.
We fucked up America.
Yeah.
I mean, the second and third ones get pretty tech heavy and weird.
I've not actually seen those, so I'm
Oh,
speaking out of my
Fair
butt.
enough. I mean, I think the Maze Runner did okay. Like, they all did okay in like the PG-13 groups. I don't think they really bombed
Yeah.
because there was several sequels and stuff. But they certainly don't. You don't get a lot of smashes like you get the Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's like the only one.
Yeah,
It's like when they
'cause-
made a bunch of Magic Kid movies after Harry Potter came out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of these ones where it's just like, I'm not sure I'm using the right word for it, but these like really complicated conceptual things like Valerian and stuff. It's just like, I know it's not. I know David kind of likes it.
I've not
but-
heard. I've only
Oh, I
heard.
love that. It's bad.
I've heard
but I
nothing
love
but
that
bad
crap.
things about
Yeah.
Valerian.
But I just knew, like, looking at it, I just knew it was going to be bad, and it's somehow, it's like you can just tell that they've blown all of the budget on CGI, and then that usually means like,
Well, it's because all of these have this like unique visionary look that looks like all the other ones.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Where it's like, check out this new amazing world. And it's like, well, it's all CGI and it just looks, I don't know.
Yeah.
They all blend
the
together.
Fifth Element too, but
Yeah.
I was
this
gonna bring
time,
up-
no
yeah.
plot.
yeah, and you saw Valerian, right? You did. You
No.
watch it? Oh, it's very much like we have a scene Like that scene from Fifth Element. It's
Yeah.
just worse with worse
It's
actors.
the same guy, right? Same
It's
director?
Yeah,
Luc
it's
Luc
Besson.
Besson.
Yeah.
He's a
Who's
weirdo.
it's not great. It's a bummer. And I went in thinking it was gonna be bad, and it was worse.
Yeah.
Which is like such a. You at least expect something dumb and enjoyable, and it wasn't even that.
Yeah. I think the only one that
That's brutal.
was able to do that
Keep going.
recently and be a big hit was Avatar, and that plot sucked, but it was able to have a narrative.
I think 3D helped it a lot.
Oh yeah,
Because 3D sucked up until
Yeah.
that one specific moment where it was like Bloody Valentine 3D. It's like, oh, the axe is coming at you, and then like
Yeah.
now here's this amazing.
The worst casualty of that 3D craze was Final Destination in 3D.
And
Because it seems like a
That was
no-brainer,
also
right?
just a bad movie.
Seems
yeah.
like a no-brainer. They had no idea what to do with 3D in that film.
how
Yeah.
can you mess
Not-
up killing people in a movie? Like, how can you mess up
In a
that
movie like
concept?
Final Destination, where it's like Rube Goldberg machines murdering you, it's like not once do they have anything fly at the camera. They did dumb shit. Like
Yeah.
in Jaws 3 when the frog jumps at the camera. Like that's the kind of 3D they were doing.
Not like Piranha. Wasn't there a Piranha 3D
Piranha
where
3D,
it comes right at the
yeah.
screen?
Neat.
I don't think there's ever been a good 3D movie.
I think Avatar is probably your closest.
But like a movie that's like the name and then like the 3D, like in the
does
title.
Jurassic Park 3D count? When they
Mm,
re-released it back in like 2000?
I don't think so.
14? I wouldn't saw it, yeah.
Because it was great in 3D.
Beowulf made me yarts.
Ugh.
Oh my
Beowulf.
god, I
Beowulf?
forgot about
I
that.
got. It was the first 3D movie I'd seen, and I got physically sick. I don't remember if I actually threw up, but I went to the bathroom and was like dry heaving. It was really bad.
That ain't no good.
I could see that. I
I
had a
have
Blair
vertigo.
Witch problem, but only
Oh.
like the second time I saw Blair Witch. The first time was fine. The second time I saw the Blair Witch, I was like, oh.
Really? That one? So that's not 3D, but it's just
Not,
like
it's just
disorienting
so,
camera.
It's one of
Oh,
her
I can
powers
see
is
that.
she makes you vomit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
somebody's doing cartwheels with the camera. half the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah, that's nauseating. For the motion sickness inclined, I think. Yeah.
I do like the idea of a city on wheels,
Oh, it's a wheel city.
No.
Yeah,
or treads.
treads. I think
Like
it's
tank
treads.
tread. It's like a half track.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's Mortal Engines.
I just think of that SpongeBob where Patrick and the whole town moves all Bikini Bottom. That's a good reference, right? SpongeBob.
That's a
You
good
guys
one.
are
That's a good
all-
touch.
think
Isn't it about
so.
to win a Tony?
Yeah, right.
Is it?
I think so. I think
I've never
SpongeBob
seen-
the musical is supposedly very deserving of a.
There's a musical. Is it a
It's on
live?
Broadway. Yeah, it's
What
supposed to be
the-
like huge.
How? Just like a man
dress 'em up,
painted
man.
yellow and like
Yeah.
shorts.
I think so. Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds delightfully creepy.
I mean,
Just
you know,
a
the
boxy-
Lion King was, that was also like men in costumes.
somehow that makes more sense to me.
Right, because we
I
had
don't know.
cats.
Yeah.
There's something weird about a rectangular jaundiced man
It's hard
tap
to pull
dancing
off
on
a-
stage on Broadway.
Yeah, hard to pull off a. Although SpongeBob does have those like horrifying stills where it's like very realistic
The Ren and-
eyeballs.
the Ren and
around.
Stimpy stills.
effect,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, is that an unfortunate cartoon, Ren and Stimpy, because
It's,
It's
so
so
good,
good,
and the
and John
creator's
Kay
a
is
piece
such a
of
monster.
shit.
He's a pedophile, right?
He's a pedophile, yeah.
but like not only beyond just a pedophile, he's like a captor.
He's like a
Pedophile.
proud
Yeah.
pedophile.
Oh, God.
Like
That's-
he's.
Well, he moved in like a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, he basically became like her guardian.
It was like the
Oh,
Steven
the
Tyler
Woody
thing.
Allen
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
Cool. Not cool. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Steven.
John.
I think Steven Tyler literally became the legal guardian of a teenage girl
Oh,
who was banging.
What's his name? One of the Almonds. Greg Allman?
Greg Allman,
Greg
the one who
Allman?
didn't die.
Yeah, what's the one where he he just recently died, right?
I don't know.
I forget
One
who it was, but like he died in Savannah, which was also the name of the porn star whose life he ruined.
Oh boy.
Oh, perfect.
And I was like, oh, there it is.
What's the next trailer on our list? Let's see.
Well, we got Kidding, which is the Michel Gondry and Jim Carrey Showtime series, which I think will be good.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
Or is he just because I know he has
Jim
like a
Carrey
producing
is
deal.
the main,
He's doing
main character.
I'm Dying Up Here for
It's
Showtime.
it's about a Mr. Rogers type TV show host whose like wife divorces him, and he's straight up Mr. Rogers in that he's like extremely positive and everybody loves him and stuff. But like, I according to the trailer, it seems like he's fallen apart a little bit.
Like
And-
a long-term Death to Smoochie concept.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Death to Smoochie, only it's Michel Gondry
So it's not
running it
not
and
like a
Jim
comedy.
Carrey. So it's like, they made Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, so it's bound to be good.
Hopefully,
That's not necessarily true.
Yeah. Well,
So-
Jim Carrey, the last thing he did, Dark Crimes, that just came out, is apparently awful. It got terrible reviews.
That's too bad because the article that it's based on is fascinating.
yeah.
Some movies are bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes movies are bad.
Some
But this is
movies are bad,
Showtime.
even
This is a
if you-
Showtime series, so
They've done pretty well.
yeah.
I think Smilf is the one that I need to see.
Is that the
That-
stepmom? I'd like to.
Or single mom.
Single
or
mom,
something.
okay.
I don't know what it is, but like, apparently it's getting like quite the awards.
That's on Showtime?
I believe it's so. Yeah.
I've never heard of
The
it.
Billions. That's them.
I've seen lots of posters about it.
Isn't it weird? Are you from out here, or are you from?
No, I mean, I grew up in San Diego, but
Okay.
I'm living here. Yeah.
Okay, but you're like a local here. It's interesting to go back to like the real world of America and look at all the billboards, and barely
None
any
of them are
for
movies.
TV and
Yeah.
movies.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I lived in Boston for
Okay.
a while, and it's just like, oh, there aren't billboards.
Yeah, I was like, it's just ugly lawyers everywhere.
Here
Yeah.
there's billboards for scripts, like blacklist scripts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that stupid one with the shark.
Yeah.
I've been seeing all over the place.
Man's Best Friend, I think it's called, or something.
What goes around, or whatever. And it's like, read it on the blacklist. I'm like, that's a terrible. None of the things you're assembling on this billboard connect in any meaningful way for me. Like, I don't know what you're talking about with this.
I remember I was back in Massachusetts, and I saw it was just like 2 or 3 billboards of men that sell cars with their daughters, with their young daughters,
Yeah.
being like, "Help our daddy feed us," or basically, and it's like always the same guy who looks like he just had to stop grilling outside of a Patriots game so he could put on a short sleeve shirt with a tie.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's always like the photography never seems to get better. It's always like just whatever
Right, like
technology we had in the 80s.
Yeah,
They're
they're still
still
using the
using
Kodak Max.
Kodak, disposable cameras.
It's like a portly guy in khaki shorts and a polo, and with a sort of nervous smile.
They all look like if you have any more information segments on Unsolved Mysteries.
Here's my daughter, Brady.
Also, I do miss I didn't watch a lot of TV when I was there, but like some of the local ads are much better than the ones from San Diego.
I do
Local
miss a
ads
good
are the
local ad.
best.
I miss Jordan's Furniture ads.
I don't remember those.
Jordan's Furniture.
Did you have Bob's? Do you have Bob discounts?
Can
for
you
here?
get a couch, sofa, love seat, 2 end tables, 2 lamps, and 2 dresser drawers for only $5.99 anywhere else? I doubt it.
Fucking Bob?
I love how he was like, you
I
might.
doubt it.
You
yeah.
could.
Yeah.
There, in
Oh, yeah.
theory, you could go somewhere else and get this stuff, but
I like
He
that
wasn't a
I like that
skeptic,
he
yeah.
acknowledges the possibility.
Yeah.
Right.
he just landed out here.
He's a reasonable guy.
Really?
He's
Did you have-
he's also regional. He's
Really?
I think they were Rhode Island, and then now they're out in California, and that's like the Empire Carpets guy was a Chicago guy.
Oh, I do know the Empire
Today.
Carpets. Empire.
1-800
Oh, yeah, yeah.
2300 Empire.
This is
And then
going.
And then that fucking 3D image
Wildly
of
off
the
the rails,
guy
yeah.
just,
Rolling
like
the-
rolling it out and staring into the camera with a dead
Did you-
expression.
I know this is a Massachusetts thing, and I don't know if this is spread. You had Dave's Soda and Pet Food City, didn't you? Or is that just Western Mass?
No,
I'm getting
that's
excited
just
right
you
now.
guys.
There's a chain called Dave's Soda and Pet Food City. And I saw it on the internet once of like, can you believe this fucking place? I'm like, what? You got to get your soda and your pet food somewhere. Like, it was just, I grew up thinking like, yeah, you have your soda and your
That's
pet
totally
food
normal.
stores.
God,
Yeah,
Two
exactly.
great tastes together.
Yeah, it was just a thing that we had.
I am always like, when I get dog food or like aquarium stuff, I'm like, God, I could really go for a soda, but
Yeah.
there's none to be had.
I'm talking about like the Costco's of pet food and soda. Like,
Oh,
it's like
so
a
it was like-
warehouse.
So they have no other products.
No
just
other
pet
product.
food
They had
and
pet
soda.
products like cat trees
Pet
and shit
sodas.
like that. But like, it was
Yeah.
literally you walk in and
Liver
on the
flavored
left
soda.
it's just soda, and on the right it's pet
What an
products.
interesting convergence.
Yeah.
Made a real decision there.
I feel like he just had connections to like
Yeah, two
pet
things
products.
that fell off a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
and so he started an entire business based on
It sounds like two families married, like the pet food empire and then the soda empire. And
They're
then,
Montagues and the
Yeah,
Capulets
yeah.
of Western Mass.
it's like, well, our children committed suicide, so I guess we should combine our families now.
New ending.
Is that like the prologue? Is
No,
that okay?
it's actually, they even tell you in the very beginning that it doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
And I think that like the ending of Romeo and Juliet basically says they start trying to one up each other on how they're going to do funerals or something. But that's in the two households both alike in dignity
They start
part. They
competing
say
over their dead kids.
I think maybe, but I know in the prologue they say two households both alike in dignity and fair Verona where they've seen.
Sorry, I meant epilogue. Actually, yeah, is the
Well,
the families don't get along.
the
after
end when they
kids die.
say not with their death bury their parents' strife, meaning their death doesn't even end.
Yeah,
the
they're still
fight.
fucking fighting.
Man,
That's
It's
stupid. book.
stupid.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
stupid
stupid.
point.
Everyone in that play is
Is an
dumb.
asshole. Is a stupid asshole.
Is
Yeah.
stupid and dumb.
I think Shakespeare in of itself is so, I mean, obviously it is because it has to be, but like what an overrated concept to have so many classes be taught about it.
Mhm.
You're just like, this is garbage.
Yeah,
it
no,
would be
I-
like if Jerry Springer had like college classes in the future and
You're
stuff.
gonna
like,
make like a Washington Post columnist angry because like anytime there's discussion of like, could we have like a little bit less Western literature and a little bit, or not even less Western literature, just like more
Right.
international literature, they're like, you're trying to get rid of Shakespeare. He's the best writer of
oh,
all
God.
time.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He was a journeyman writer who had to survive, so he wrote shitty plays.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
like,
Dickens.
they-
Dickens got paid by the word,
Yeah,
cousin.
he was a magazine writer.
Well,
Yeah.
I do like Dickens though. His it makes me bad feminist though, because like all of his women are either like evil harpies or they're beautiful empty
Shells.
shells that like just have curls everywhere and blue
Well,
eyes.
he did say it was the best of times.
We should probably talk about.
Oh
a
yeah,
movie.
movies.
Like fucking
I want.
Bumblebee.
I want to talk about. Oh yeah, do we have to talk about Bumblebee? Yeah, I guess.
The
there's a
Bumblebee trailer
trailer.
came out.
That actually looks all right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, oh hey, this is what this looks like when you don't have Michael Bay.
They have the
Well-
potential. Like Transformers movies have a potential to be okay.
Yeah.
It was a redo of the original, the very first Transformers teaser trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Starscream looks great.
Yeah.
It's original.
I mean,
Starscream.
it's the first Transformers that isn't directed by Michael Bay, so
So is this a prequel then?
I don't
I
think,
think so. I think it is.
I think opposite.
Maybe not.
I think it's like the Logan of Transformers. Like it's like way after everything. I could be wrong.
I think it's supposed to take place in the 80s.
Oh really?
I think so, and that's why he's the
No,
bug.
explain why it's a
and
bug.
then that
Yeah,
bug
yeah.
is what it
Becomes
is.
a
during-
Right, your idea
Wait,
makes
so
more
they-
sense.
Oh yeah, no.
They can choose their car forms, or is he always a bug?
The movies,
Yeah, they
They
do
choose
like
their
a
forms.
scan form.
Yeah.
yeah, the movies are baffling because the cartoons are also baffling, but in the movie,
Yeah, it's dumb. It's
in the
dumb
movie,
concept.
the robots come down and they're just robots, and they
Mhm.
scan the vehicles they see and just become them.
But
and-
how?
They
It's
just
just
like
something of similar mass
scan,
and- yeah.
and then they're like nanotechnology or whatever. But it's dumb because, I mean, it's dumb. And then we learn in the sequels that like they've been there forever.
The way the Transformers work is kind of like, because what do they need to disguise as on their home world?
They don't.
Like that's an ability that's only useful when you're invading another planet.
Can they scan other metal objects?
Yeah, it feels like they could be anything they want to,
I
and
bet-
they chose to be cars.
I bet in
and
the-
planes.
I bet in the extended canon, like the comic book stuff, it's probably like, oh, they had jobs, and your jobs were usually what you would transform into, and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think, there's a lot of the, they scan what and they can be, tanks and vehicles and stuff like that, because I don't think they can be organic. And they
No.
and they're hiding. I think that's the other thing that, like,
Yeah.
they're in exile.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I've never watched a Transformers movie or anything.
I've
The
watched
first-
the first and third one.
the first movie is like a real movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not good, but it takes its time with the plot, and it has to introduce the Transformers, and it's like kind of cool, and then it just goes out of control.
2 goes out of control. 3 is probably the best one they made as far as writing and plot.
Okay.
3 is probably the best.
I remember 4 being just gibberish.
Just a goddamn mess.
Which is the one with Sir Anthony Hopkins in it?
5. I didn't see
What
5.
doing?
He is collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Well, okay.
Tony's gotta make money.
Michael Bay pulls a lot out of people as a director.
Well, here's what it is that working on a mic, he does practical effects. All the explosions are real. He holds, I think Bond actually took the record, but for a while he held the record for the biggest, like, on-screen explosion.
Sounds like a record Michael Bay would have.
Yeah, he works with really creative camera crews. He lets the actors do as much stunts as they want.
Oh, his movies
So when
look
you're Francis
great.
McDormand and you're playing just like
an agent, right? Like a federal agent.
yeah,
Yeah,
but when
she's
you're
like
when
a-
you're
yeah.
playing when you're typecast as that actress, and then Michael Bay comes and is like, "Hey, you want to run from giant robots?" It's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I do." Like, why wouldn't I? Like the same with Anthony Hopkins. It's
And
just like,
make
yeah,
a ton
fucking
of money doing it.
yeah. You want to hang out on this really fun set and fucking hang out with CGI
You
robots.
want to
and
get
make
paid
a-
$10
make a
million
good check.
for 3 days of
Yeah.
work?
John Turturro, like.
Oh yeah.
There's
I mean,
that
he's
story
made
about
so
him
much
crying
money.
on the pyramids because they don't let people on the pyramids, but to film the second one, they're like, yeah, let's put John Turturro on there, and he got to like climb on the pyramids, and he like started crying because he's like, I nobody gets to do this. When do you get to do this?
You know what's funny about Egypt and the pyramids? I had a friend who had gone there. She's like, all you have to do is offer a very small amount of money, and you can like touch
you
them
can
and like
touch
climb
them.
on them. Like,
Oh, if you,
like,
yeah,
the guards there, like they accept very low bribes.
the pictures are jarring, like when they zoom out just a little bit, because you see all the food trucks and
Yeah.
tourist stands
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
God, yeah.
And I mean, there's a city right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just right in the middle. It's like if we had a pyramid like out on Venice.
Yeah.
Like it's just right in the middle of the city.
The Venice Pyramid.
Mm.
Yeah, the Venice pyramids.
It'd be like just the hookup place
Yeah, yeah.
of the day.
Fucking
There'd
Anthony
be so many
Kiedis.
ODs on
Yeah.
the pyramid.
Anthony Kiedis would have written a song about getting high there.
Gonna hanging out on the pyramid now.
I,
Like, that's-
you can cut this if you need to, but like
I'm not cutting any of this.
I had a dentist appointment and I had the craziest dental hygienist I've ever had. First of all, it was extremely painful. And I just thought like, oh, I'm just being a weenie. And then I looked down at my bib and it's like covered in blood. That's not normal.
No, it's not.
I don't have like gingivitis, so it was not my.
must be nice.
Humble
Humble
brag.
brag, yeah.
I'm just-
I don't
I'm
have
just-
tooth decay.
I'm just like better than most people.
Sure.
But like she was like saying like, oh, have you ever been to Venice Beach? I'm like, yeah, and she's like, there are so many people getting drunk there and like these guys hooking up with these ugly girls. I'm like, whoa, dude, judgy.
That's awesome.
Pump the brakes.
That's an awesome thing to hear from a hygienist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you?
Did you not get to make out with one of the Gold's gym dudes? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like why are you been out of shape over this?
Did you get turned down by a guy in a fluorescent tank top?
And it's just like, she's just like, oh, it was so weird. And then she started talking about multi-level marketing things, and that was cool.
That's like
That
like
was
pyramid
A
stuff?
pyramid scheme.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it brings it all back.
Yeah.
Like teeth are a pyramid scheme. Like, it's like, hey, you're doing great, teeth lady. You don't need to sign up for Herbalife.
You're a dental hygienist. This is a good job.
I think she just enjoys it.
Yeah, it's like her pastime.
You know what I love is that the LA Galaxy are sponsored by Herbalife, which is a legitimate pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a very well-known professional sports team that is sponsored mostly by a pyramid.
pyramid
I
scheme.
read this story about like some kind of humane society, not the humane society, but like some kind of animal organization that like they had these booths at this event that were like these essential oils, but it was like some, I don't remember the company, some MLM thing, but like people were complaining like, hey, essential oils can kill cats and bunnies, don't have those at a pet expo.
Yeah.
And then the owner, like the person who ran the pet expo was like, well, I'm actually, part of the, this essential oils multi-level marketing team, and I think it's fine. It's like they're in the pocket
That's
of
not how this works.
Big oil.
Big oil.
Big oil.
Big
Big
oil.
oil.
Little oil.
Little oil.
Small oil.
Oh man, what else do we got on the list?
We got Suspiria. The full trailer came out. And just talking about horror movies, it'll actually come out today, the day the podcast comes out. The Halloween teaser will also come out. There's a series of teasers for the teaser that have been released.
Sadly, we're recording this on Thursday, so we're not getting to watch the Halloween.
Yeah,
trailer.
but the teasers look pretty good. I I like what I'm seeing so far. I don't know if it's going to be too much in terms of callbacks, because like they show a shot with Michael Myers is wearing the bed sheet, and it's like, yeah, no, he did that in the first one. That's cool.
Like Danny McBride's involved, isn't he? Like, isn't he writing it?
Who?
Danny McBride?
Yeah. It's like some really unexpected people attached to it. What's his name? The guy who made 50-50. Is it David Gordon Green? Is that his name? Yeah, I think he's doing it. That would be great.
The guy who directed Pineapple Express and
making a Halloween movie.
I'm mad
with John Carpenter producing.
I'm mad that Crocodile Dundee thing was a hoax.
About
Danny McBride.
Yeah. I really want that to be a real movie. Yeah,
so bad.
Well, apparently, what's his name?
Paul Hogan.
Yeah, is like a maniac.
Yeah, he's apparently a real asshole.
So, if it was made, it would have been
the one famous Australian actor is an asshole.
Only one famous Australian actor is an asshole.
Most of them are from New Zealand.
One other,
like Russell Crowe.
There is certainly not another more famous Australian actor who is a complete piece of shit.
Well, wait, Hugh Jackman isn't a piece of shit, is he?
No, but that's because he's just been in the closet for so long that he's got to be.
Oh, be nice to Hugh Jackman.
It's Mel Gibson.
Well, he's actually not. He's American, but he moved to Australia when he was a kid.
Yeah, Australia.
That's not enough.
I think for the point of this conversation, I want to argue that Australia made him racist and terrible.
Probably, it's certainly his Holocaust denying father certainly didn't help.
Yeah,
but also, Suspiria. I never thought I would see a Suspiria remake trailer that I was like, I'm excited.
Amped for.
Do you guys know? Have you guys seen Suspiria, the original?
You asked me this before. I still haven't because it doesn't interest me.
It's a gorgeous film.
It's super fucked up, right?
It's pretty fucked up and it's gorgeous.
What's it about?
Dancers who are
it's a witch coven.
Who are a witch coven.
Yeah.
Neat.
And
it's
made,
a ballet school.
When was it made? Like the 70s or
70s.
late 60s? I don't know.
It's the late 70s.
Great soundtrack. Really weird, moody.
It's Dario Argento.
Movie. Yeah.
I used to do ballet. Bunch of witches, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So you should watch that film. You can relate to it.
Yeah. My ballet teacher was very mean to me.
They have to be. That's how you get good.
Yeah, right. No, there's no compassion there. It's just like, your body is bad. Fix it.
Yeah, right? You're not going to get better with a nice coach.
That's true.
Like, you're going to get fucked up emotionally, but you're going to be you're not there for therapy. You're there for ballet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, emotionally and physically, like, my feet are fucked up.
Ballet feet that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of hammer toe stuff.
Well, it's not as bad as it could be because I quit when I was in high school, but like, I do sometimes get just random nerve pain where it's just like this searing, burning pain, and I'm just like used to it. It's like, just probably point shoe stuff.
It's just my claw pains.
That's so insane to me when you dissect sort of what happens to people who pursue something beyond just a passing interest.
Right.
And they go into it, like the sacrifices that they get into.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in boxing and you probably have more damage from something that's considered passive and light and delicate.
Yeah, I mean
versus somebody who literally got punched a bunch of times.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends if you ever got a concussion because those are cumulative.
You're like, probably.
I mean, here's the thing. It's fine.
But I mean, I would say that's probably true. Would be true if I'd continued, because like once you start to do it into adulthood, like as a kid, your body's pretty resilient. Like you're all flexible and bendy. But then as an adult, like once you like start tearing things and stuff, it doesn't necessarily repair itself back to normal. So like that's why a lot of people in ballet like retire when they're at the ripe old age of 30.
Yeah, it's a rough experience.
Yeah.
It's super intense.
Right.
Got another run in.
It's a good line to hear when we're talking about being like older and falling apart. It's just someone going like, "I'm so out of shape." It's like, yeah. Go ahead.
What? Oh yeah, I was going to move us on.
Yeah, just move down the list.
Jared Leto getting a standalone Joker film.
Gross.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening.
I didn't see that trailer. Is it bad?
There's no trailer. I think it's just announced.
Gross. Oh man, it's
This
gonna,
is terrible podcasting.
Yeah.
there's-
Go ahead.
Sorry, there's gonna be so many more. Like, you know, the sad like incel people who like, or forever alone people who
I've
like
heard of them.
use they use the specifically the worst Joker, the Jared Leto Joker, Leto, whatever.
Whatever.
Rattle.
Just
Leto.
call them whatever you want.
And,
Party of 5.
It's Leno.
Jared Leto.
That combines so much like disgust. Just in
look at me,
one.
I'm the Joker.
I'm the Joker. Hey, you want to wear?
He would.
I got 15
be
motorcycles.
A good Joker.
You heard about Batman? You heard about this guy?
He's got the face for it. But yeah, no, like they do a screenshot of it. It's like you know, when the nice guy gets hurt, the devil shudders, and it's stupid stuff about like these guys are like, oh, you know, girls don't like me because I'm nice. So
Yeah, but
I guess I'll be an asshole now.
To be fair, they were Heath Ledgering it right up until Jared Leto showed
Yeah.
up. Like, that's not...
Yeah, that's
and,
true.
And you can't... I think we need to stop putting art as the responsibility for shitty men. Because shitty men are
Right.
going to latch on to literally anything. Like, it's the Rick and Morty thing where it's like, Rick and Morty is great.
Yeah.
There are shitty men that enjoy it and they ruin it. Star Wars, it's fine.
Right.
Shitty men ruin it. Like,
That's true.
like I like the idea of the Leto Joker only because most people hate it.
Yeah.
And that to me, I'm like, well, it's fine because we got Jack Nicholson and it was great. And then we got Heath Ledger and that was great. Mark Hamill did a great job on it. Why not have a new one and then that'll disappear? It's going to go away too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this before. Is the idea of a Joker who's like kind of a d-bag, and like you're not like all the Jokers until then are like they've been like cool
Yeah.
villains, and so I like the idea of a Joker that I genuinely like. I don't like this
Right,
guy.
like-
Douche bro.
Yeah.
He's a Joker fuckboy.
He
Yeah.
is.
I like that. And I also like
Yeah,
the
I
idea
like-
that he might be Jason Todd doing an impersonation
Oh,
of the
yeah, yeah,
Joker. I also like how he did Crazy. He did Crazy in a very good way. We gotta stop. Okay, it's not a good movie.
No, it's
Suicide
not.
Squad's not a good movie. It's kind of an enjoyable movie. And as far as the DC movies go, it's better than anything with Superman in it. Like,
Sure,
it's-
I'm gonna disagree with kind of enjoyable, but I get your point.
No, I think it's a fun, dumb action movie with some terrible plot holes and points, but it's. I gauge movies on fun now versus
Sure,
Right.
like
yeah,
if there's a gaping plot hole, but I'm like, oh, it was kind of fun, you know, it was fine. But like with the Jared Leto character, he's a good actor. Like he is a good actor. I know
Mhm.
it's easy to hate him, but
I hate him, but I recognize he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
well,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like the Tom Cruise idea where it's like
Yeah.
you put Cruise in a sci-fi movie, and I am 100% behind it, but I want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Seems
Seems
like-
that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, but I think I like the type of crazy that they've made this Joker, like a street level, insane.
Yeah, and it's interesting to have a Joker that is like physically repellent. Like you're just
Right?
like, I don't like this guy.
And he murders Common, like Common out of nowhere. Common just shows up, Common
and get
plays
murdered.
a 2-line thug, drug dealer or whatever that gets murdered immediately, and you're like, is that before you can be like, is that
Before you can
Common?
finish asking if it's common, he gets murdered.
oh man,
And I think it would probably be. I think eventually DC is going to address the abuse issue,
Mm.
and this is probably going to be it.
wait, what should be?
Was him
Oh,
and
that
Harley
he's
Quinn.
clearly abusive to Harley Quinn.
Yeah, he
like he's manipulative,
Oh,
emotionally, and in certain circumstances, physically
he
abusive.
literally brainwashes her.
Mhm.
Like, which is a pretty that's actually good. I dislike the things where they're sort of coy about it being a consensual relationship, because it's like, I mean, it depends, because it's kind of good in a way to show like abuse is very complicated, but it's also just like, don't make it seem like a cute relationship. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like them having him like put her in the electroshock thing in the film.
You didn't like that?
No, because more along the lines of what Katie's talking about is it is sort of this like
It's a trigger. It's abuse.
yeah, it's more like just being around him for so long, he did this very subtle, complicated form of abuse that eventually
I
wins
actually
her
really
over.
liked how it was portrayed in the animated series, because like it was just all this subtle stuff that added up. Like, you know, she would like try to get his attention, and he'd like shove her out of the way, and it was like, and it showed her backstory where he just like manipulated her and made her feel like, you know, it was weirdly realistic. But,
right. He did it by continuously denying her validation.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gross.
I think there's a lot of. I think that's a lot of. What are you willing to do for me after he turns her?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where they bring in the shock and then the jump. Is he's like, what are you willing to?
That's true,
give up for this, as like sort of that final test. It's weird and it's dysfunctional, but I feel like Warner is smart enough to use this as Harley breaking away, just like they did in Batman the Animated Series a lot, because it's not the Ivy and in the comics as well. Like, but it's so complicated that you were never going to get that full relationship in Suicide Squad.
And even when he like shows up to quote unquote rescue her, it's not like. I think they even kind of made it clear in Suicide Squad, as crummy a film as it is, where he's not like rescuing. It's like, no, that's my property.
Yeah,
like that's why he's mad. Like he doesn't care about her.
They probably should have just made a movie about them.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean,
that's what this is going to be, I'm sure.
I have a feeling that's what this is.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they should have sort of started with that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is DC's problem.
It is consistently.
They're like, you know what? We're gonna do the opposite of what Marvel does and make the big movies with the characters you don't know or care about, and we don't give a fuck what you think.
The cooks in the kitchen at Warner really fucked up some stuff. When they lost Tom Hardy, that was a big hit.
Oh yeah.
Which was weird because
what was he supposed to be in?
He was supposed to be what's his name? Flag.
Oh,
he was supposed to be Flag, and he was like into it, but he had a contract problem with a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But also the guy that played Captain Boomerang looks so much like Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
Jay Courtney.
That I was just like, you're gonna have two of the same guy in this movie.
I loved him. That was my favorite character.
The
Captain
shift
Boomerang.
that they made. The shift that they made with the villains and the way they did so much stuff post initial start that like really kind of torpedoed that, and then the Killer Croc characterization was a minstrel show of superheroes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I enjoyed it more than I was expecting to, and like other than Wonder Woman, name a DC movie that's come out that was better. Not saying that's a good idea.
Suicide Squad? Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman, for all its flawed third act, is probably the top.
I'm going to say Justice League was...
I think Man of Steel and even Batman v Superman are better than Suicide Squad.
Oh,
I think because I thought Suicide Squad was trash.
Suicide Squad knew what it was from the very beginning.
It kind of knew what it was.
And it never once marketed itself as being anything other than the hot topic of the DC universe.
That joke got made so hard,
but it's true. Like,
it is true.
Look at the poster, for God's sake.
Yeah,
the poster
it's a hot
looked
topic,
like a sale sign at Spencer Gifts.
Oh yeah. But it wasn't originally made that way. That's the thing. When I watched it, I could really tell that this was a movie.
All the post stuff and
scrambled
reshoots.
in post. Yeah. The music was fucking. The only way I can describe the music is like desperate. Like the music was really, really wanted me to love the movie.
It's like one of those YouTube videos where they just take clips from a movie and then play a bunch of like music over it.
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah, like on a technical level, that movie was broken. I would say it's the worst movie of the DCs on a technical level. I know what you're saying of level of entertainment, it's also, and stuff like that. But it was like an eyesore for me. I just couldn't get through it.
Margot Robbie was fantastic.
Yeah,
Margot Robbie was great. Good. Will Smith was fantastic in that movie. Like he was really good. Like
I didn't mind.
I mean, a lot of the players, the bit players, weren't necessarily. I also liked that guy that they didn't show in the previews. That like Native American guy, and like his job is he escapes stuff.
He gets his head blown off.
He blow his head up like immediately.
Yeah. Adam Beach.
It was pretty funny.
All right, we should probably wrap it up.
Sure, yeah. You got a movie that deserves more hype.
I don't know if I'm going to like this movie, to be honest, but I want people to know about it because it's coming out in September 14th, and I haven't heard much about it.
So we got some time.
It's called A Simple Favor. It's a murder mystery thriller. What's weird about it is it's directed by Paul Feig. And it's the only of this kind that he's ever done. I looked back, I was like, wait, did he start doing, like, no, it's all Bridesmaids and Ghostbusters and then this murder mystery thriller with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick.
And it's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy. The trailer is trying to make it very clear that it's not a comedy.
Good for them.
It's about a video blogger whose friend disappeared in a small town, and she's like using, I think, her blog to go find out what happened to her.
Did a blog in a small town. Best friend got killed in a small town.
Oh, that's excellent. I don't think it's found
murdered
footage.
in a small town.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot more of these like true crime-esque movies
Mhm.
because of Serial and everything else.
Which I am down for because I love a good murder mystery.
Yeah, me too.
And so
When
if there's more,
when they're fair,
yeah, when
Yeah,
they're well
when they
done.
get-
the mystery has to be solvable.
Yeah, that unless that is not the point of the movie. Like,
Right.
So like
Yeah.
Columbo was great because it was basically who did it and all these other things, but like just watching the process of Columbo putting it all together was very enjoyable. That's fine. But like if you're gonna be like setting it up as a whodunit and then you're just like, oh, here's a twist, you didn't know that this person was
Right.
actually
Right.
this person. It's like, and you
I hate
didn't
that
leave
shit.
any
Well,
clues.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hate
it
it. I
ha-
hate it when the mystery is not something you could solve.
it has to be one or the other because I would say like Sherlock Holmes, those books, you can't really solve them when you're reading them, but you're like impressed by how he solves them.
He
So,
doesn't
like, there
pull it
has
out of
to be-
nowhere, though.
Exactly. No, it's not pulled out of nowhere. All the clues are there, but you would never.
The dots connect
Thing.
in a very
And-
specific way.
And I
Yeah.
wouldn't call it clever necessarily because the writer has the advantage of
Knowing how
it's all going to go and knowing what to provide.
Reveal.
Yeah, but it's just all it's clever enough that it's entertaining, and I feel like as long as it's entertaining and doesn't
Yeah.
make me feel like, oh fuck you movie at the end.
Yeah, I mean, Agatha Christie is really good at
Yeah.
setting things up where you can, when you read it enough of it, you start to get really good at like figuring out who's gonna be it. A lot of it's because you can like see sort of giveaways in her writing, but
Mhm.
it does. It's fun to feel smart.
She cheats a little bit too, but
She does, but if you're,
but she's really good.
it is really
Yeah.
it's
I feel like everybody cheats,
It's
right? You can't write a murder mystery.
Well,
and
like,
not
Polonic
cheat.
is a good example of somebody who Shyamalan's the shit out of you
Mhm.
2/3 the way through your book.
Yeah,
Where you're just going through something and then he's just like, oh, also here's something fucked up out of left field. And you're like, okay, well, that
yeah.
was...
He does.
Well-
he really leans on the unreliable narrator a lot.
sometimes. Although I reading Fight Club, there's lines in Fight Club like halfway through there was like sometimes I thought me and Tyler were the same person, like stuff like that. Like he's just saying it,
yeah.
and for some reason it doesn't click.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you see, is it Mr. Holmes, I believe? The Ian McKellen?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Sherlock.
I saw that.
How fun was that
It was
movie?
great.
It was so...
I gotta
and
see
it's
this
like
movie.
PG?
I mean, Ian McKellen is so good, and so like, I don't know, just like having a sensitive portrayal of Alzheimer's like that, and I think the fact that they use Sherlock Holmes, it sort of drives that point home of like the feeling of loss.
Yeah.
It's so
great.
good, and it's not
sounds
as
intense.
It's intense, but
I
it's
really wanna
not
watch
as
it now.
depressing as you
No,
would
it's
think.
it's a very uplifting Sherlock Holmes story.
It's about as uplifting as you can get when you're talking about Alzheimer's.
Right. This
Yeah.
sounds like the film Nebraska where you watch the trailer and you're like, well, that sounds like the saddest goddamn thing ever.
But-
And then you watch it and you're like, I feel
Yeah.
great. I feel
Yeah.
great about this old
Yeah.
guy.
Well, it's sort of more. It's like it's almost like being able to come to terms with that kind of loss. But what's funny is like what are their names? That Mitchell and Webb look. They did a skit before this movie came out where it was like Sherlock Holmes with dementia, and then everyone just humoring him and saying like, "Oh, you solved another one, Mr. Holmes." He was like, "It was the peanut butter jar the whole time."
Just make that movie.
Yes, cool. So now
I've
Anna
discovered who the murderer is.
Kendrick.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that maybe. I haven't liked any of Paul Feig's films, but
I like Blake Lively and I like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
They're both
Well,
great.
maybe he'll be amazing at this other genre. Like
he wrote Freaks and Geeks, right?
I don't know.
That was that was a Paul Feig joint.
I never saw Freaks and Geeks.
I into
I have
Freaks
no
and
I have
Geeks.
no attachment to Paul Feig. I like Bridesmaids was funny.
I
I don't know if
have
it had-
not
I've
seen,
seen
like, half of
Bridesmaids.
it.
Oh, okay, I don't think
good.
any of the humor came from him.
Yeah, it was.
The more I
overly-
learn about him, the less I think of him as any sort of
Right, he
comedic
strikes
genius.
me as a filmmaker who just films people doing improv.
Ghostbusters is a good example of how you might not be able to trust him, because that
Yeah.
had a lot of
Right.
opportunity with a lot of super incredible talent, and it's
How do you mess
it's
up a
so
thing
bad.
with
I've heard
Kate
it's just
McKinnon
bad, yeah.
and
With that
Melissa
cast.
McCarthy
I
in
know,
it.
I know. I wanted that movie to be so
Me
good,
too.
just because of all the people that didn't
Mhm.
want it to
Yeah.
be good.
Mhm.
Also, I want every movie to be good. Every
Right.
movie
Yeah.
should.
I don't
be
go
good.
to a movie wanting it
Yeah.
to suck.
Yeah.
I wanted so bad to enjoy the what's that new Harry Potter one, the
Oh, the
Cursed
Fantastic
Child.
Beasts.
Fantastic,
Fantastic
Oh,
Beasts.
that's not good either.
No, and I
Yeah.
wanted it so badly because like it was just like, oh, I want to recapture that feeling when I was in the 5th grade, and like I knew I wouldn't have the same feeling as an adult, but it was just like I just want it to be good, and it
Yep.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. 5th grade
Wait,
when the first one came out,
when was the
2001.
2001? Yeah.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
Oh God, I am.
I was in college.
Yeah, I was working holding down
I
a job.
Get out.
I remember escorting kids to their viewing of that. I was volunteering in college. So.
I'm only 12 and a half years old.
I didn't see Hey Patty Peas.
But no, you're right. Like, but that's a good example though. Like the calling, like, because serial version, like Freaks and Geeks, was very fun. It was very heartfelt, and it wasn't a comedy so much as it was a coming of age dramedy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whereas then you try to get something like Ghostbusters, where that was always a very, very deadpan comedy.
Yeah.
Tightly written comedy,
It was,
too.
and then to then make something so silly and
Yeah.
over the top
Slapstick.
and poorly done. The jokes were not great.
Like there were certain parts of it that I enjoyed just visually, but then it was just like oh, that's cool, and then like they would just yank you back into the terrible dialogue.
Yeah, there's there's even jokes that are okay with it. There's a good breakdown of it that Red Letter Media did that was like one of the biggest problems is they just couldn't like it's the rate at which like they would set up a joke, tell 3 jokes, and then pay off the first joke. Stuff like that where they couldn't just
It's
let
impatient.
a joke breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it's like you said, it's a deadpan. It's not like Ghostbusters is. I don't want to say serious, but it's like a serious
It's a
environment.
serious movie
It's-
with funny things. in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they just
the
couldn't
humor,
stop.
The humor is the somberness of it. Like when Dan Aykroyd is like, it's like you thought of something. He's like, I thought of the least threatening thing I could think of, and it's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and they all just like look horrified and angry, and there's no like, oh, you. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh my god.
Right, because it takes place in the real world, so
Right.
that's why like the absurdity of a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is funny.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gotta be scary to a child. That's your
You're right.
That's your sort of bar.
Ghostbusters
yeah.
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The cab driver.
The terror dogs is what made me start
Ghostbusters-
sitting with the light on.
Those stop
Two.
motion fucking dogs. Stop motion in any movie like brings
Yeah.
it up from like scary to just like I can't sleep.
Right, the scene where they possess Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
destroyed me.
the hand
Coming up out of the couch.
Oh,
yeah, that
that's-
fucked me up.
that is brutal.
It's so brutal.
The cab driver is so terrifying.
The
It's a
skeleton
gnarly
cast.
corpse.
Skeleton
Oh, yeah, that
corpse.
thing's
gnarly
nuts.
corpse.
That to me is the one that has
He's got
always
meat
laughed.
hanging off him.
He
Ah.
does. It's like it's all a goo. He's
Don't
still
take
got
the tunnel
goo.
or whatever, and he just like smashes immediately into
Right,
the car.
because he's a dead guy.
It's
He can't drive a cab.
like that's also funny and terrifying. It's like Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gremlins is another perfect example of terrifying to children, hilarious to adults.
Yeah, that
Right.
movie scared me as a kid too.
My grandmother made me watch it at 6 because she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I watched it over and over again, and it scared the shit. Same with Ghostbusters. I watched
Yeah.
both those movies constantly, and they scared the hell out of me.
yeah.
The mask freaked me out. Just like that's a body horror kind of thing. Where
Jim Carrey, The Mask.
Yeah.
Well, the original comic was
The
more
Dark
on
Horse
your
stuff.
side.
Straight up horror.
Serial
Yeah.
killery.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
serial killer.
Well, he's an
in-
incel
in
that
the
then
comic.
gets
I
superpowers,
was
basically.
a sensitive
God.
child.
The Mask is when you think about it. I mean, again, like it makes sense that you would find the movie kind of fucked up because it came from something that was fucked
was
up.
pretty
And when
fucked
you
up,
when you
yeah.
actually think about it, it is fucked up.
That's the Dark Horse movie Golden Age. There was 4 Dark Horse movies in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
It was The Mask, Tank Girl,
Time
Time
Cop.
Cop, and Barbed Wire.
I love Tank Girl. I watched
Tank
it
Girl
recently.
is so good.
Yeah, I've watched it recently enough to know it's not just like my memory.
No,
of
it was good, and it had that
fucking Malcolm McDowell.
righteous
better
ass
now.
face-to-face song in it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It opens with a Devo song, and it's just like I am completely on board.
It's
with this
better
fucking-
now than it was in 1995.
Yeah.
That
It's got
also scared me
Ice-T.
as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because of the kangaroos.
Yeah,
Kangaroo-
Ice-T
Kangaroo
is a
Ice-T.
kangaroo.
It has Richard Schiff as like a random guard.
Yeah.
And what's her
yeah.
name?
Isn't Iggy Pop in that shit?
Probably.
Yeah, he's in The Crow, too.
Jet Girl is what's her name?
It's,
Liev Schreiber's.
It's
Naomi Watts.
Naomi
and
Watts.
Naomi
yeah.
Watts. Yeah.
Oh, and then they had the like waterboarding scene. That was intense.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
They're turning people in the water.
Or that the grenade thing that like
Yeah.
injects and like sucks out the
Yeah.
water out of you. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's freaky.
Sweet
great
movie.
Malcolm
I need
McDowell.
to rewatch that because I like I only have like little kid memories of it where it's just like, oh my god.
94 is peak Malcolm
the
McDowell.
animation.
Really good.
Yeah, the
Oh,
animated.
yeah.
Animation
Oh, yeah.
cutscenes.
Those are
Yeah.
so good.
And they're very liquid television-y.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is just a
Man.
rad movie.
God, Tank Girl, everyone.
Yeah,
Everybody go watch
if you
Tank
haven't
Girl.
seen Tank Girl,
So yeah, and then what's the name of this movie that you?
who cares? See Tank Girl.
Tank-
So who's watching Tank Girl? Fuck this movie. With
Anna Kendrick,
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
I'm looking at the doc again. Hold
Blog
on.
times. We have a murder on our hands.
Blog Times at Ridgemont High.
A Simple Favor, which is a bad
That's a
title for
bad
this.
title.
That
Ignore-
sounds like a. Go ahead.
Oh, ignore David. It's called We've Got a Blog. Uh-oh, a murder.
A Simple Favor sounds like a pre-Matrix Keanu Reeves, like
Or it's a-
romantic comedy.
It's
It's like
Right.
a late 90s thriller.
Sandra Bullock, Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves, and then like they're like
Yeah.
she's got her arms crossed, like,
I-
oh you.
I need this simple favor.
She's like, no, but secretly yes.
What's the one where he wears butterfly wings? Where he like, does anybody know which Keanu Reeves I'm talking about? He goes on like a road trip.
I mean, there's
and then
only
he
one
goes to like
Keanu
an
Reeves.
orchard and is wearing some fucking butterfly
Like
wings.
they're not.
I think this is a dream you had.
Someone
Is
leave
that
a
the one?
comment.
Is it that?
Someone leave comments on the podcast.
Is that the, I don't know.
I don't know.
Keanu.
It doesn't matter. It
should be
Keanu
Constantine.
Reeves.
It should be Constantine.
Another underrated movie.
That-
I really enjoyed
I
Constantine.
really liked Tilda Swinton in that.
She's
great.
great.
Oh my
She
God,
did a
yeah.
great, just like creepy, unfeeling angel. That was so
I like
good.
it. I like the decision to make because she's Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the decision to make the angels like non-gendered.
Yeah, that was
Spoilers.
cool.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
Also, the when she experiences pain for the first time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like her acting on that, where she takes the shot and it takes a second to register, and she just goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
a-
so well
It's a
done.
good
It's
movie.
a good
She's-
movie. Yeah.
It is. It's much better, and it's got some pretty good Shia in it.
Yeah.
Shia's good
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
solid
What?
shot.
Shia's good in it.
I love that
Oh,
for
he's
a while.
that kid.
He's the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the sidekick.
Ah, damn it!
I love
forgot
Gets
that.
that.
murdered by invisible Tilda
Also,
Swinton.
I found out he's a dick on set.
Yeah.
I just found that out
Damn
like
it!
less than a week ago,
Shia is.
and it bums me out
I
because I'm
know.
so pro Shia.
Because he seems like I don't love his acting, but he seemed like a fun guy. But that's too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, you're not
I'm not-
respecting the process.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not that
boy.
surprised just because of all the press and shit around him.
True, but like I'm always pulling for him.
Yeah. No, I like him in movies.
The greatest game ever played.
Yeah.
Come on, that's such a good Disney sports
Yeah.
movie.
Holes. Holes is a
good.
great film.
And Constantine, iRobot. He was the sidekick in iRobot.
He
Yeah.
he
He's
was
in
great
that- he's
in
in that
the.
shit, yeah.
He's the best part of the Transformers
Who
movies.
is
Yeah.
he in
Like,
iRobot?
He's in Constantine. He's the same. He's like Will Smith's little sidekick kid who like
no way. I don't
is in a
remember
couple
that.
scenes. Yeah.
I'm just like clearly editing him out,
Yeah.
like Eternal Sunshine style.
Aw.
Shia erased.
Poor shot. Well, not poor shot. I mean, he's one of those Indigo children, right?
I think so.
I think he
Yeah.
was, which that's gonna lead to some problems down the
Mm.
line.
What's
I think.
this? Indigo Children?
Oh, Indigo children are free range kids,
Mm.
basically.
I don't know.
Like all the Phoenix kids.
Yeah, they get no actual parenting.
Oh boy.
They become people by learning how to be people, not by receiving instruction.
That
Basically, that's the
sounds just like
that's-
neglect.
that's an overly
Yes,
simplified
it's
way of
right.
doing it, but it's essentially anti-education as education.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's no good.
No.
Stay in school.
I had one of my old students worked on an anti-education commune, basically, and he was like
Mhm.
trying to explain to me why education is bad,
Mm.
and I'm like, well, it pays my bills for one, but beyond that, not every child is motivated, especially in this era. Like, games are fun.
Games
Video
are real fun, you guys.
Like,
video games are the coolest.
And kids aren't going to put down a game and be like, I think I want what trigonometry is.
Yeah.
no,
Like, it's not going to happen.
no. I want to play Street
people
Fighter.
aren't going to willfully make themselves good people. You have to have some kind of impetus.
It's weird to have to say like education is good. Like it's weird that there's some people that we have to have this debate with.
Some people are like, bad teachers create bad. And it's just like, not every teacher is a stereotype from Matilda.
Yeah.
Like there are great teachers that know how to
Mrs.
translate stuff,
Trunchbull.
and it's changing. Like
Also,
education
you have-
is evolving.
You have so many teachers. I feel like if we make our school systems decent, it'll average out.
Right, like I had way more fine to good teachers than I did shitty teachers. They cancel each other out.
I mean, there's for sure criticisms you can make, like curriculum not being good enough or whatever, but the answer to that is like fix it, not just like, we tried.
It starts
Yeah.
in the colleges, and then it bleeds into the high schools when you educate young adults to become teachers. That's where you get the shift.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to deal with some old ass shitty teachers when I worked, and this was my hometown.
Your Hugo Weavings.
So I had to. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Deal with some Hugo Weavings.
I had one teacher that was like, "Don't even bother emailing me because I won't look at it."
Well, that's a
And I
good
was
way to
like,
live.
No, it's 2011.
One
We've been
asshole.
at it for quite some time.
Right. You've Got Mail came out in 1995 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So this has been Education Cast.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, I apologize for just immediately. coming in.
Thanks.
You and your stupid schools.
Thanks, you guys, for doing the
Fuck
thing.
school.
Katie, do you have anything you want to plug?
I got a Twitters. One of them is at Katie Goldin, spelled with an I, not like golden as in made out of gold. And then the other one is Pro Bird Rights, which is my satirical bird thing where I be a bird. And
Wait, you're Bird Rights?
yeah.
Oh, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Aww.
You're a goddamn
Thank you.
genius.
Isn't that delightful?
Oh, you ran the cracked account for a while.
Yeah, I
too.
did.
Okay, that's right. I remember when you made that shift, and I was just like,
Yeah.
So you're the one. Okay, you're great.
Aw, thank you.
You just created merch, right?
I did.
Yeah,
I'm,
fucking
guys, I'm selling shirts now. They've got a bird version of Che Guevara on it, and boy, did I make a few people mad about that.
Fuck them.
It's a wonderful shirt.
Oh,
Is
that's
it
great.
because Che Guevara is a monster or a hero? Which one?
It's because he's a monster that they're saying it. But here's the thing: it's a picture of a bird, so calm down.
Right.
Che does not actually appear on this T-shirt.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Buy some Bird Rights.
Yeah,
Aw.
right?
Buy them shirts,
Um,
kid.
If you're listening to this and you don't follow me on Twitter by now, that's a dick move. You should do that.
Right. What are you doing?
Tom and I got some pilots we're working on for
Yeah,
some
yeah.
podcasts.
We're gonna put some of
throwing
that shit
stuff
out.
together. I've got. I should within the next couple of months have 22 pages up and running.
Cool.
And if you're in LA, come to my live comedy show, Mint on Card. It's the second Friday of every month. So tonight,
Yeah.
if you're hearing this on release day, tonight, Blast from the Past at Burbank, free show, food trucks. It's a blast.
The food is not free.
No, you have to.
But it is
gotta pay
great.
for the
It's great food.
Yeah, the show is free.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info. Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.